record, so this can be on YouTube too. So whether you're watching live on Facebook or later on Facebook or on YouTube or on the podcast when doctors don't have answers, welcome. And this morning, I was doing my morning meditation and my matrix energetics and peace process and everything else that I do to set up my day. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, why is it some people heal? Some people heal. You know, they have a chronic condition and then they get well. And there's some amazing examples of that. You know, there's like Anita Morjani, who was on death's door literally and then came back, and it was a miracle. And I've seen miracles with our work, and I've heard of miracles with the wisdom healing qigong and seen some of them actually in person, and the integrative manual therapy. There's been so many times when I've seen people can heal from chronic medical conditions, unexplainable in some ways, but also explainable in some ways as well. And so as I was thinking about it, I was I watched a bunch of football yesterday. For some reason, it was a drizzly day up here in the Northwest, and I just felt like watching football. It's the playoffs, and it's interesting. There were some, the sports are a thing that really brings up a lot of the human drama of things, and some people just rise to the occasion and perform beyond expectations, and then do super well and win. And it seems like certain people have a certain gift that it's just kind of like they do it, they overcome, and they win. And then other people, like I saw this one field goal kicker, and he was called upon to win the game. It was like amazing. He could win the game with a field goal, and his team had gotten him in a pretty good position, 43-yard field goal to win the game and move on to the next round in the playoffs. And he, just before he started to kick the ball, the other team, before they snapped the ball, the other team called timeout. And so they were icing him. You know, they were going to make him think about it a little bit, but he followed through and kicked the ball and went right through the uprights. So it would have won the game. And then you saw him, they showed a picture, a video of him coming, getting ready for the next one, because he was like, okay, now it comes. Now it's time to do it for real again. And he just took a big breath. And you could just look at the tension in his face, of course. This was the big one. And they had talked about numerous times this season. It was either 5 times or 10 times. It was a lot of times that the ball had hit the upright of the field goal. It's like hit the upright and bounced away. I mean, you can't plan to hit the upright. It's so thin. It's a little target. You can't plan on doing that on purpose. But he had hit the upright numerous times and then not scored the field goal. And for many games that would have been, they would have won. And so there he was, and he kicked the ball, and crazy, it hit the upright, hit the crossbar, bounced away, and they lost. And then there was other teams that, one of my favorite teams from, one of my teams, the San Diego Chargers, now they're the Los Angeles Chargers, and they have this thing of having big leads and somehow finding a way to lose. It's been incredible over the years. It's like there's a curse over them or something. And there they were way ahead, 23-3, with just a few minutes left. The other team had done nothing the entire game, and then it came down to the wire. It actually came down to the wire, and you could see the players, 2 of the players that have been on the team for a long time, just like upset with themselves. They couldn't believe this was happening again. And everybody's like, the announcer's like, well, the Charger fans could be getting nervous because you know how it goes for them. And they ended up squeaking out a win. And so we'll see how they do next round. But there's a pattern that shows up where it's like they kind of sabotage things at the end so many times. And one of my favorite teams, the Seattle Seahawks, they always seem to come from behind and make it a big drama, and it's like this against all odds thing, and then they can win, and sometimes they don't. And they came against all odds, and they let them put themselves in the hole, and at the very end they almost made it and they didn't make it. And so there's their pattern. And then there's patterns of this one guy with the Philadelphia Eagles, and a quarterback, and he didn't get to play a lot this year, even though he won the Super Bowl with his team last year. They used the other quarterback, And the other quarterback is very, very skilled, and that's who they were going with, even though this guy had won the Super Bowl with them the year before. And but the new quarterback got hurt again, and so there he was. Foles is his name, and he came from behind, won the game with them, and the announcers were like, yeah, it's not like the team believed he was a better quarterback. It was more like they had been there before and they truly believed that they could do it again. And he believed it. And that's what he said in his post-game interview was yeah, we just never stopped believing. We never stopped believing. And he has a certain calmness to him and a certain faith that he has, that he has that. And so when I was thinking this morning, why is it some people get well and others don't? Now, there's parts of it, like part of me goes, okay, well, if they just did everything that I tell them to do, ask them to do, the nutrition things, and really all of the nutrition things, not like, well, I'll do part of it or I'll do it some of the time, but the people that do it perfectly well to their best of their ability and without the excuses with the nutrition, they do really well. And the people that do the inner game, the mindset stuff that I have for people now, that's really worked for people, if they do that and not make excuses and not say why they can't do it and find ways to not do it, if they do it, they get well. There's a better chance they do really well. And so there's things that people can do to get well in the physical world, to heal, and to succeed in life. And then there's things that people know would be useful to do, like maybe changing some things in their environment, or changing the way they do things, or shifting certain belief patterns using techniques and methods, or nutrition things. There's things that they can do and they know they can do that would get them well, and yet they find ways to not do it, to procrastinate, to play on their their phone, or to watch Facebook all the time, or to not do their work that they know would get them what they truly want. And so, and then there's some that do as best they can, but still aren't succeeding. And is that some sort of internal belief thing? So as I was setting up the space for you for today's session today, I was like, why is it some people succeed and some have such a hard time getting well, healing, and just having a good life? And what I have for you today is, what might it be like? And you can go to this space right now if you want. What might it be like if you knew, absolutely knew, didn't have to think about it or try to make it where you think you know it, if you absolutely knew how precious and special you actually are? Because there was a time when you probably knew that. And, when I look at my boys, the way I feel about them is how precious and special they are, of course, right? And if you guys have seen them, you know how true that is. And so you can imagine how they feel about themselves, knowing that they're celebrated like that. So now we've all been given challenges and opportunities and hardships, and things have happened that might have put dents in that knowing just how special and precious you are, right? So if those could be seen as opportunities to shift this thing once and for all, so you could know just how special and precious you actually are. And it's not for me to convince you, right? But there's something in you. There could be something in you, right? That knows something. Yeah, and then once you know that, maybe you'll be more likely to do the things that can get you healthy, right? And the excuses won't show up anymore. And the reasons why it's not working, and the thoughts that come in that are negative, that say why it's not working. And instead, you can actually do the things that work. So let's just tune into that for all your hopes and dreams. How la. All right. So each of these videos that I do, they're actually a transmission. You're getting some information from with your head, right? And then there's something energetic, some other thing that happens with these sessions. And if you were to check before and after the video, you might notice that something's different. So let me know what you notice. I'd love to hear. Just scroll down and leave a comment. When I think about those sporting teams and some of those guys that, like the guy that missed the field goal and the people that seem to be running a certain pattern where they don't quite get what they want exactly how they want it, and others that seem to always rise to the occasion, for the most part, they're the winners and the ones that kind of have a hard time despite a lot of hard work. What I thought about was, Jen even said, it's like, golly, they could be such good clients, because there's a way that we found to go deep into what that's really about. And if you're interested in that, you can look for the link. It's in the description here, or it'll be up in here in the video afterwards when it's on YouTube. All right, everybody. So have a great Monday. It's the start of a new year. Let me know what you noticed that's different with this session. And if you like more, click share. Let me know so I know to make more of these. All right. Bye now.